What a wild ride it's been this past year, huh? Well, okay, it's mostly been the last few weeks. What with all the controversies coming out, some having been blown out of proportions, and others that are legitimately worrisome. If there was ever a time to show that the Oscars just don't seem to matter anymore, just look at these past few weeks as for evidence. But you know what? They do matter to me, as well as many other Academy Award aficionados. So I'm gonna appreciate films and enjoy my time with the Oscars, even if the whole thing is looking to implode in on itself. Seriously, don't we have enough problems going on? Anyways, 2024. What a year for movies. There was talk about no one going to the theaters anymore, various locations closing down, and people essentially calling it a dying industry. Video articles came out left and right explaining that major properties were just not doing well anymore, and that blockbusters were few and far between. Then summer and winter time came and various films broke records, exceeded expectations, and proved that there was still some life left in those old bones. Just to name a few standouts, you had Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and of course, Wicked. We had our bad apples as well, of course, with films like Borderlands, Madam Web, and Megalopolis stinking up the theaters. But I truly believe that 2024 was not a bad year for films, especially with such experiences like Nosferatu, I Saw the TV Glow, The Substance, and hundreds of beavers coming into our lives. Really take a close look and you'll find some pretty dang good stuff that released last year. But enough about that, we gotta talk about what's really important, my road to the Academy Awards. Yes, I changed the name, I had to throw my own controversy into the mix, but I guarantee the experience will be the same, namely that it's probably gonna suck. And for those of you who are out there going, what the hell am I talking about? This is a series where I review one Best Picture nominee each day leading up to the Oscars. I'll also have my final winner predictions the day before the Oscars, and during the ceremony, for each wrong prediction I give, I'll be taking a shot. Which means, if I'm not careful, I could be in trouble. Now, last year didn't go so bad, and I'm hoping to follow suit this year, but you'll have to subscribe and come back to see how I truly end up doing. As for the films nominated this year, we have quite a bit of interesting ones to go through. And with the chaos that's been going on, there's quite a few that will be trying to get ahead of the competition to pull out a win. Does Anora find its happily ever after by taking home the gold statuette? Is The Brutalist able to build itself a solid foundation and go home with Best Picture? I'm sure a complete unknown will be looking to be known in time for the big night. Conclave will also be wanting to secure the necessary votes to win the title. Weirdly, there's Dune Part 2, which seems to be having a hard time getting the people of the industry addicted to its space drugs. That's rare for Hollywood. There's also the Emilia Perez of it all, and the millions of controversies that have come out against it and have continued to build. Not sure if it'll be able to sing and dance its way out of that mess, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm Still Here is shouting that very statement as it continues to grow momentum and maybe take home the grand prize. And even though Nickel Boys only has 2 nominations, I'm sure it's hoping its story presented in the film will not be forgotten when the big day comes. Did I mention The Substance is nominated as well? What a revelation that is! Here's hoping it doesn't go the way of its own ending when it comes to Oscar night. Lastly, there's Wicked, which is going to be tip-tapping and singing its way through the night, as long as it's taking home its wins, of course. All these films will be reviewed over the next 10 days, so please make sure you're coming back to check each and every one of those out. I'm excited to be sharing my thoughts with all of you, and of course, for the big night itself. This is my road to the 2025 Academy Awards.